Thanks for coming back. And you know, Carrie, we are very, very proud of the fact that for many, many years we have been able in Humble ISD to offer students truly a vast array of career and technology education programs. Very, very real and promising career pathways. When Kingwood Park High School was opened, a man by the name of Jeff Wilson agreed to teach there and start our very first auto collision program. And I didn't know this until that time, but that is a very, very demanding field in terms of the need for auto collision technicians. Unfortunately, lots of folks get in accidents.
They do,
and those cars
especially
need to
in
be
Harris
repaired.
County.
That's right. There you go. There you go with all the traffic. In any event, we're very, very proud now because that program has grown immensely and really has become a model, I think, for other programs in the state. And so we're thrilled to have three of our technicians, three of our students in auto collision at Kingwood Park High School with us. First, Jayce Thompson.
Yes, sir.
And Jayce, you are a senior at Kingwood Park.
I am.
Next to you is Collin Kirkland, and Collin, you're the junior.
Yes, sir.
All righty. And then we have, last but not least, Denaisha Sanders. And Denaisha, you are a senior at Kingwood Park.
Yes.
So I'm going to start, if I may, Jayce, with you. Talk a little bit about your experience in the auto collision program, and would you mention also how, is this your first year in the program, second year?
Well, I moved here my sophomore year, but late in the year, so I didn't get to actually get into the prerequisite class. So I took it as a junior and just learned everything I could, soaked everything up, because this is something I've been interested in all my life. I'm a major gearhead. Anything that has to do with a car, I'm all over it. But,
awesome.
So yeah, when I found out about this opportunity, I jumped all over it, and it's kind of turned me more to learn and appreciate what people do in the field out in the real world. And so I took it as a junior, the prerequisite, and as a senior, I was moved up to the senior class because of as much as I've learned and I've showed on my work, he felt like that's what I could do. And it's ever since then I've loved doing it. I love showing my creativity, and being able to do that work just helps out.
Well, how great you found yourself in a place where you could really pursue your interest and your talent, which is awesome.
Okay, Collin, let's hear from you. What drew you to the auto collision program?
Well, for me, I started with EPT. It's the base course you go with, and I'm a junior, so I get to go to advanced next year as a senior.
Okay, I'm going to stop you really quick. I don't know what EPT stands for.
EPT is Energy, Power, and Transportation.
EPT,
it's the option to either go to auto tech, which is working on engines like Kingwood High School or other high schools, or you can come to auto collision here.
Okay.
So I started there, and throughout high school, I've kind of different plans what I want to do after I graduated. And for me, it was EPT. I kind of got to see what we'd start doing in auto collision or advanced, and that just kind of catched me, just being able to paint or work on my own car and get the base knowledge of actually knowing kind of if something happens, I know how to fix it, or I can work on it myself and I don't have to go do something. And so it's just seeing how simple it seems, but finding out how really complicated it can be and getting to know how to do that myself. That's what kind of, it broadened how much I knew about myself and how much I knew about cars.
Right.
So it's kind of grown with this class as it goes on.
Well, and I can imagine for all of you, with as fast as technology changes, I would imagine some of these cars that you see are pretty advanced, not only on the outside, but under the hood. So it's got to be different. You never know what comes in each day, I assume.
Definitely. There's... in the collision, it's basically the same, and it's still the body fenders and stuff, but there's difference between the older vehicles, which are all metal, to the newer vehicles that are going towards the plastic bumpers and the aluminum. So, I mean, it's same basics, but still small specs that you have to learn.
Well, I think that's the other important point, too. I mean, it's not just about auto body. It's about chemistry, it's about knowing the different metals and how to work with them and so on and so forth. So Denaisha, I am going to apologize in advance, okay? Because when I think of an auto collision technician, I don't think girl. So I'm sorry about that. But I'm very, very curious as to what attracted you.
Well, my junior year, I joined the EPT, Energy, Power, and Transportation, and Mr. Wilson said that I had potential, so I kept going, and I'm in advance now, so It was interesting. Sophomore year, I was into being a police officer. I thought I'd do that, but then was like, that's not for me. So I went on, and me and my brother always loved looking at cars, and so I thought I'd try this out, and I like it. I plan on doing this after school, so after high school. So.
Well, and it's great that you've been able to have the experience to kind of try out law enforcement, and because it's important to also decide what absolutely you never want to do. And that's an important decision. So I'm curious. Have any of you, or are any of you involved in an internship or working out?
I am.
Okay.
I'm part of the paid internship at Kenneth's Complete Car Care on North Park. Mr. Wilson was friends with somebody who worked there. They've been friends for a while, and so they emailed him asking if there was a student needing a job. And I jumped all over it immediately. It's something I've always been around, and I felt, why not jump into it right away? So through there, I've learned different specs, not just the basics like we do in class, but now I've learned like other technicians, their way of doing stuff. And I can mix in my own and learn myself, so that's what I've been doing there. And
that's great.
And since, I guess, November, the end of November is when I started that.
Awesome. Well, they are waving us on. We're running out of time, but I'm going to ignore that for just one quick question, because this is your chance. I mean, this is it. This is your, and let me assure you, Mr. Wilson will not see this show. I promise you. So I meant what I said at the outset, and that is that I think he's a pretty phenomenal teacher, and he really created this program for us, and I think he's done a great job. But here's your chance. I want to know your quick evaluation of Mr. Wilson and the program. Denaisha?
Okay. He's a good teacher. Like, he explains if we need help, he'll come and help us. The program all around is amazing. It's really good. We have a good shop, and
lots of opportunity. Personally, I think the shop is really impressive. I mean, very impressive. And your work is very impressive, because I've been over to see that too. So, Collin?
For me, it's like most teachers in high school, they're kind of around you all the time, and they kind of help you do all your things with class. But it seems in auto collision, it seems that Mr. Wilson kind of gives us our chances to like branch off and do things ourselves, to like see how we do it, or like see what we know. So we kind of get that creativity that we get to pick what to do on some items, or we get some sets of things that we can paint or just do, or add details to. That's kind of like putting our design onto something. So it's overall for me, it's great, because I kind of get to express myself more, and I get to show like more of what I can do or what I'm capable of. But at the same time, he's still always there in the background, like paying attention and like showing us how we could make it even better, or push us to do it even better. Great. So for me, it's just a great class. I'm happy with it overall.
Awesome. All right, you get the last word, Jayce.
Well, on a short scale of to 10, I give him a straight up 10, because he's all around, not just in our program, but with the FFA. He does help not just us. Any student in the school that needs help with their vehicle, we're there, and he will back them up for us, and we'll help them out for anybody in the school, and he's just always there. I mean, he's not, like he said, he's not on our back, but he's there to help us and push us towards what we need and what we want.
Well, great. Well, guys, thank you so much for being with us, and thanks for making the program as great as it is, because certainly you're a big part of that. And I lied. We're going to let Mr. Wilson see the show.
Thank goodness your remarks were positive.
That's right. I'm just glad my expectations matched up with what your experiences have been. So stay with Carrie and I. We're going to come back in just a minute.